What's this? A game that wasn't made by Nintendo? Yeah, Double Dragon on NES is a surprisingly fun, engaging beat 'em up that I think really sticks out on the NES library and has become kind of a favorite of mine, although I still can't consistently beat it. The game in which you play as a thug, a young delinquent on a mission to save your girlfriend after she is abducted by thugs in the single greatest opening cutscene in gaming history, involves you simply walking to the right and beating the shit out of anyone that crosses your path. Now, that seems rather simplistic, and in a lot of ways it is. It does suffer a lot from the technical flaws that a lot of other beat 'em ups have, but I actually prefer Double Dragon over a lot of later games, including Final Fight and Streets of Rage, for a couple of different reasons. For one, I feel like the game has a lot more variety in its environments. You have these situations where you're climbing up ladders, you can knock people off ledges, you can jump over gaps and bridges, and there's some really hard, difficult platforming segments in the end. It makes the entire experience feel very fresh and different without really feeling monotonous, and that, coupled with a RPG style level up system in which you actually gain new moves as you go through the game, it really helps a lot to keep the experience from feeling monotonous. It's really one of those things that makes me wish that more beat 'em ups did this, in which you unlocked more abilities as you proceeded through, depending on how you played. I just really enjoy struggling with a fight and then suddenly getting a new ability and being able to wail on my opponents. It is so much fun. It never stops being fun, and it is one of those NES games. It's designed to be very, very difficult to beat. I personally don't think I've beaten it more than twice. I have gotten through it. I have gotten to the ending. I've seen the ending screen a couple of times. That final area where all those guys come out of the door after you. I've gotten there several times. I'm kind of out of practice now, but I can almost beat it. I used to almost be able to beat it pretty consistently. I don't know. That's kind of the game's charm. You know what I mean? It's one of those games that you'll get through most of it pretty consistently. The first couple of levels are pretty easy. It ramps up by stage 3, and by stage 4 it becomes positively brutal. But by that point, you really do want to get through it. You really do want to get better. You really do want to master it. And as a result, as you go through these stages, as you get better and better at dealing with these situations, learning how to handle certain enemies, learning how to avoid certain obstacles, discovering glitches, discovering easy ways to defeat certain enemies, it never stops being fun. It is an incredibly engaging experience, and I prefer it, I think, to a lot of the other sequels and spin-offs. I think I prefer it more. I prefer it to Double Dragon 2. I think I prefer it to River City Ransom, which I've never actually beaten. Double Dragon 3, which I think is one of those notorious games that people don't really like all that much. Never really played that one, but I think the original still stands out. I think I even prefer this NES port to the original arcade version, because I think the visual style really gives the game a lot of personality. I don't really care for the arcadey, the 80s arcadey look. I have played it. I don't really care for it too much. I prefer the NES version. This is probably one of my favorite games on NES. Something that I haven't played in years and years and years. And coming back to it for this video was an absolute treat. And I'm hoping that I'll be able to get through all of it on stream at some point in the future. It is absolutely something I want to be good at. I do want to beat this game again. I do want to keep playing it. And I think that, more than anything else, makes it more than worthy of being labeled a Nintendo classic.